Okay, for my show and tell, I brought you all a game called Hyperspace Delivery Service. And it is it's basically Oregon Trail in space. So you gotta get from one point to another to deliver a parcel, and then between checkpoints you've got to just kind of wait and random events happen, and then based on the amount of resources you have and the stats of your characters, either good things happen, bad things happen, you lose resources, you get more resources, and then when you get to a planet, you can buy more resources, so it's like fuel, ship parts, medical kits to help your people. You can take on missions, which play out like a really old school first person shooter, or if it's in space, like a really old school first person space combat game. Cool. So it mixes all these genres together. Sorry, Jake?
No, that was just me saying cool.
Oh, sorry. Fair enough. We'll edit that part out.
Sound like Emma, really?
Yes. But yeah, no, it's if you know what Oregon Trail is and you like the sound of that in space, that's pretty much all this is. It's got some really retro-looking graphics, like it looks like an old VGA style graphics, so it's like an old DOS game. And when you're staring at the cockpit of your ship, you just hear all these bleeps, bloops, pings, and pongs, and it gives it this very late 80s, early 90s sci-fi. I mean, it's almost a Star Trek game minus the Star Trek license. You kind of feel like you're sitting in a starship, like Enterprise or something. You get to name all your crew, which is cool as well. So, at some point, Jake, you completely fucked up and almost blew up the ship.
Nice.
Yeah. And, it creates these funny little stories if you name all your characters something and they keep screwing up and losing important parts or whatever, or if you go on a particularly hard FPS mission and get someone killed. It's very hard as well. There's 3 difficulties, and on easy you can easily finish it. On medium, towards the latter half of the game, you start to really run out of supplies, and you have to make tough decisions. Like, you're not going to have enough money to buy fuel, so do you give up more ammo? Do you give up some rockets, medkits? You just need the air to get to the next planet, so what are you going to give up now? And it gets really stressful. But it's just really fun. It's a bit buggy, but I don't really want to point out any bugs because every time I took note of a bug, within days the developer patched it and fixed it. So, chances are by the time you hear this, it's called Hyperspace Delivery Service. Oh, how long?
Yeah, how long has it been out for?
Because
you said the developer's working on it and stuff like that. I just wondered whether it's just continuously updating or whether the game's only been out for a short while.
A bit of both. It's only been out for a few weeks. I guess seeing as this recording's been a bit delayed, we could say it's been out for a month now, but definitely no longer than 1.5 months.
That's pretty good.
It's just really cool, and I recommend you guys look it up on Steam so you can have a look at how the graphics are. It's so old DOS looking. Random encounters in it are quite fun, though they can also get frustrating. It's the kind of game that you don't want to take too seriously. You kind of have to go in expecting a funny story to come out of it, not one you really, really want to win, because sometimes you get halfway through and suddenly all your fuel gets purged into space because Jake pressed the wrong fucking button. So it can get frustrating. No, not really. I didn't actually name anyone Jake. I'm just blaming you for everything that went wrong in the game.
Also, 20th September.
Okay, yeah, there you go. And it's just got really nice artwork. The music, really synthy, and alongside with those beeps and boops, it gives you this really otherworldly feel, which helps for the whole being in space thing. And the setting's kind of refreshing as well, because you're not saving the universe, you're not a pirate, you're just delivery boys. All you're doing is going from planet A to planet Z, with all the planets in between, and trying to survive. So it's so low stakes, but you can die.
So it's Paperboy.
Yeah, something like that. But no, it's really cool. I've really been enjoying it, and I'm actually glad that we've finally got to record this, because it's a game that I actually want to stream. I want to put people's names in and have some fun with it. But definitely a game that, without a doubt, I recommend easily.
I've got an important question.
Yep.
Does it have multiplayer?
No, there's no multiplayer, which is a shame. The first-person shooter parts, I guess, could have been fun, as well as maybe you could have someone like fly a ship while someone aimed guns, but there's nothing like that. It is purely single-player, but it's really hard to picture how the multiplayer would work if it had it. Like, it's so clearly built to be a single-player game.
Well, from the looks of things, it kind of looks like that zombie game that you and I played together, where you had a zombie.
Death Road to Canada. Well, yeah, Death Road to Canada is Oregon Trail, but zombies. This is Oregon Trail, but in space.
Yeah, so that's why it could have been two-player hot seat, potentially.
A bit harder to do it first person, but possible.
You could do it on a Super Nintendo, you can do it on a PC.
Fair enough, but either way, at least right now it doesn't have, and I'm sure there's no plans for it.
Yeah, I've got no problem with a game that is purely single player, but
in fact, I think, Emma, you have a hook with games that are multiplayer, so...
I do actually. I don't tend to like playing sort of online multiplayer. I tend to avoid it. And when I do have an online multiplayer game, I will like set up my own like server for just me, which is actually what I do for Ark, which is
nice.
Strange, but I do. But that's because I don't really play other games with other people unless it's local co-op. Unless it's local and everyone's within the same room, I prefer to play games by myself. But that's just me. That's my preference.
That's fair enough.
So,
before we move on, I just wanted to point one more thing. For a game that's got such low stakes and, you're all focusing on just getting from point A to point B, there's a lot of backstory written in. Like, when you visit planets, it'll explain what the planet is, what the industry on this planet is, things like that. You can randomly chat with aliens, which sometimes give you more backstory. There's a surprising amount of lore for the universe in this game, considering you're just postal delivery boys and you're not saving the world. But that's it. That's pretty much all I've got to say. So if there's no more questions, I'm happy to move on.
No, I'll definitely check it out, though.
Can you go postal in this game?
No. There's no point where you could ever shoot a innocent person. The only enemies you see in the space parts or the walking around parts are enemy robot things that you have to kill. Oh, go postal.
Yeah.
Took you too long.
Well, I'm happy with that answer.
Would you recommend it?
Easily.
Wonderful.
I think I gather that from the way he talked about it.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good to voice the overall verdict.
Indeed. Right. So I guess I'll pick the next person. Emma.
Yes.